I marvel not only at that, but at the creation around me that is created and is as awesome and as beautifully designed as this. And this is one of the basic principles that I learned from my teacher in Pakistan, Hakim Ahmed. And that is basically, it's also something that one of the great Sufi sheikhs said. He said, man is a little universe, and the universe is the big man. And whatever you find inward in this system, you will find outward in that system. Whatever you find in gatheredness in your own being, you will find outwardly in the creation, the universe in separation, not one hair more or one hair less. And to learn about this, you can go out there, and to learn about that, you can go in here. So my teacher said, I learned medicine from my grandfather who taught me in the forest. So on one hand, it's purely metaphorical. On one hand, everything that we experience in creation is metaphor, one for another. One part for another part. In one sense, it's all metaphor. In the Quran, it says, in yourself and on the horizon, there are signs for those who reflect. So this reflection is a key piece of being alive. It's not just a key piece of learning and understanding. When I first started studying medicine, one of the wonderful things I discovered, because I was very enthusiastic and very inspired about my newly discovered Islam and the spiritual practices that were there. And what I used to do at that time, when I was told I should do medicine, what I used to do, I had at my fingertips, I had these beautiful libraries in London, Wellcome Institute. Does anybody know the Wellcome Institute? Anybody here? Wellcome Institute is this great medical library. I mean, it's floor upon floor upon floor. And not just modern texts, but, you know, from England, old texts. I mean, you could find anything there, journals and old books. It's an incredible place. So not only did I have those libraries at hand that were in London, but I had this inspired feeling of being a Muslim and having this connection with God, with Allah. So what I used to do is I used to pray, and as I was learning myself and looking for teachers and reading, I would take any question that came to me, I would pray, I would make dua, I would say, Allah, you know, what is the meaning of such and such? And there were answers that would come immediately. So a great deal of my learning then was really from inspiration. And one of the things I want to reiterate through the day here is point out, people talk about traditional Islamic medicine, and how do we recover the kind of glory of that era and that time? I want to point out and emphasize this idea that these people, the Muslims that created algebra, that discovered all they discovered, Ibn Sina, all of these people, the science and the art and the understanding and the knowledge that came forth from them, they didn't just sort of get it on a platter from someplace. It's something that grew out of, one, their connection to their practices and their religion, their deen. It came from the purification of themselves, but it came forth from them in terms of understanding. And so people talk about, well, how do we as Muslims, again, regain that? And it's not by going back to that history and that tradition. It's by transforming ourselves and by us becoming so whole, so complete, and so fulfilled that it flows out from us. Okay? So I want to emphasize that and re-emphasize that. That's not a little thing. So